In last section we have discussed about what is that BJT, what is the structure of BJT, what are the different types we have, that is NPN and BJT and PNP, what is this structure of this power DJT explains. We have seen that concept in last class, and also we have seen structure of this power BJT will be like this, and you will be having n plus and n minus region, and concentration of this one will be 10 raised to 19 and 10 raised to 14, and this is the width of this power BJT structure. We have seen that one in last video class. After that we have seen the graph of this power BJT like this. This is the current controlled. So to make this power BJT on and off, you are using base current IB. Let us consider that this base current IB, that is IB0, if it is equal to 0, then your BJT goes to off condition. This is the cutoff region. Means your BJT will be in off state. If you want to make this BJT on, then you have to apply IB current such that it will shift from this active regions to saturation region. Usually in this active region it will be working like a amplifier. In saturation region it start to work like a switch on and off switch. But in our power electronics application we are using this BJT as only on and off switches, so we are not worrying about active region. We are not interested in amplification section. In saturation we need to see there are two type of saturation, QC saturation and hard saturation. QC means you can consider this one as a soft saturation. Hard saturation means this is the hard saturation. We will see that soft saturation and hard saturation in next concept in detail. Next we have seen there are two type of breakdown will be available in the BJT, that is primary breakdown and secondary breakdown. Primary breakdown will take place in between collector to base junction. Usually because of the large power dissipation normally leads to primary breakdown. And also in secondary breakdown usually in between collector to emitter voltage drop. In this section usually there will be a more power dissipation take place. This power dissipation is not only evenly spread, actually entire volume it has to be spread evenly, but it is concentrated in some of the localized area, that is the localized region. In this region local temperature goes rapidly and BJT damage will happen. We can call this type of breakdown as secondary breakdown. Next we have analyzed this BJT with help of some of the mathematical expressions, and equivalent model of the BJT can be drawn with this one NPN transistor. Here you have collector region, base and emitter region. Inside this BJT you can see that there are two diodes are there, one diode and second diode. In between base to collector you have one diode, in between base to emitter you have another diode. And it also shows the behavior similar to current source. If you draw the mathematical expression for this one, current gain beta can be represented by beta equal to IC by IB. Next emitter current IE can be given by IE equal to IC plus IB. Next you can rearrange that one and you will get the expression for this IC will be alpha into IA. And the relationship between alpha and beta can be given by alpha equal to 1 plus beta divided by beta. For this BJT you can draw the nature which is switching from active regions to saturation region. During that instant, what are the expression you will get? You can write down all these expressions here. With respect to all these expressions, we have solved one simple problem. We had discussed about this problem also in last class in detail. After this, we will go with the next concept of this BJT, that is nothing but safe operating area of a BJT. What is the meaning of safe operating area? This is the area in which this BJT can operate without any damage. Here you have IC versus VCE. In this region, BJT can operate without any damage. At this border, temperature of this BJT will be high. In this border, temperature of the BJT will be high. You know that a BJT, you are using BJT as a switch. In order to make this switch on and off, you will use the pulse. If you are using the pulse, means safe operating area will be increased to this much. Instead of only this much of safe operating area, that one will be increased to this one. Next, collector current IC will be like this. Maximum collector current, you can represent this one by IC max like this. Next, for this one, for BJT you can draw IC versus VCE. A graph we have drawn here, and that same explanation they have given here. In this dotted region they have given a dotted region, that is nothing but safe operating area. At the junction, we have seen at the junction temperature will be maximum along the boundary. In that boundary, maximum temperature will be there. This safe operating area can be increased if you use pulsed voltages if you want to make BJT turn on. So that one they have written. So safe operating area is effectively increased for pulsed operation. Obviously, you are using BJT as a switch, you are using pulse, it can be increased. This BJT can be used in pulsed mode. Hence, safe operating area will be more. And there in that graph, we can see IC max, maximum collector current that can handle efficiently, that is nothing but IC max. This IC max. And also in that one, VCE max also they have given. Maximum collector voltage they have given as a VCE max. There now we have seen BVCEO, collector to emitter voltage, maximum collector to emitter voltage, which base is open circuited, in which base is open. That can be given by BVCEO. Next we will go with a switching characteristic. So this is the equivalent model of the BJT. This is a base region, this one is a collector region, and this is the emitter region. Equivalent model we have drawn here. In between base to collector, there is a junction. In that junction, there will be a voltage. That voltage can be represented by this CB, means in between collector to base, what is that junction voltage is there? That is represented by like this. In between base to emitter, in between this base to emitter, what is that capacitance is there? That is represented by CBE, base to emitter capacitance. Next, there will be a resistance for the flowing of current in between base to emitter. That is nothing but internal resistance. This internal resistance can be given by RBE. In between base to emitter, what is that internal resistance is there, no? That is represented by RBE. It is shown with the small letter R, means it is a internal resistance. In between collector to emitter, there will be internal resistance RCE. Next, there will be a current source. This current source can be given by beta into IB. We'll see how the switching characteristic of this BJT works. So here they have written, you can observe that equivalent collector to base junction CB. Next, base to emitter junction. These capacitance play important role during turn on and turn off. This collector to base as well as base to emitter, these two capacitance play very important role during turn on and turn off. And also this turn on and turn off are affected due to internal capacitance of BJT. Next we will see the graph here. In this graph how it works and all. Obviously if you want to make this BJT on, means you have to apply VB. You should apply VB. Initially VB will be negative, base voltage will be negative, then it will be increased. Then if you want to make this turn off, means you have to make VB negative, like this. When you make VB positive, base current IB that is flowing like this. Next we will see when you make VB negative, then IB also becomes negative, like this. As you know, when you apply base current IB, IC should increase, but we'll check whether IC increases immediately or not. We'll see that one in next graph. In this graph you can observe as you apply IB, IC not increased immediately. Actually IC should start to increase from here only, but it is not increased immediately. Because of what? Because of the capacitance, junction capacitance what you have. Because of this junction capacitance, it will take some time durations to charge this junction capacitance. Then only it start to increase. The time required to charge this junction capacitance will be TD, delay time. During this delay time, the capacitance will be, this junction capacitance will be increased to 0.1 of IC. As this junction capacitance increases, then current start to increase, IC current start to increase once this junction capacitance charges to 0.1. Next, you will consider this one as a rise time. Rise time means what? This is the time required to increase your collector current to 90%. 0.9 IC means it is a 90% of IC current. Next we will go with the fall time, turn off time. Next we will come across the storage time, TS. Storage time means what? If you want to make your BJT off, it will not goes to off immediately. There will be a time that is required to remove the charges from this junction capacitance. You can observe here, you have applied minus IB here. When you have applied minus IB, it will not goes to off condition immediately. It will not go to off condition immediately. This can be called as a storage time. This is the time required to remove this junction capacitance. You can call this one as a storage time. In this storage time, the junction capacitance decreases. As this junction capacitance is removed, then this IC current start to drop. You can call this one as a fall time TF. So T of total period, T of is nothing but sum of storage time plus fall time. We'll see what they have written here. In this section now we have seen collector to base, there will be capacitance. It requires some capacitance to charge this. Next, base to emitter junction you have. There also it requires some time durations to charge this. Next, they have explained this graph. Just now what I have explained, we will see what they have written. Base to emitter is made turn on the BJT. This voltage VBE, base to emitter voltage, will increase this. That is nothing but VB. Base VBE on means that is nothing but VB. Base voltage becomes positive. Base starts flowing. Base current starts flowing here. The value of this current will be IB on. We have just seen when you apply VB, then IB also start to flow. Next, we have observed that collector current is not starts flowing immediately as you apply IB current, because base drive is applied. No, this is because collector to base junction capacitance, base to emitter capacitance, that need to charge. The time required to charge this base to emitter capacitance, this capacitance, how much time that is required, you will call this one as a delay time, TD. Is the time delay involved when collector current start increasing after base drive is applied. When base to emitter voltage, when it is start to some forward bias voltage of 0.7 volt, then a collector current reaches to steady voltage. BJT is then said to be turned on. When it start charged to 0.7 volt, then only your collector current IC start to increase. Then you will call this one as a BJT is on. Then time required to rise to 90% of maximum IC, we will call this one as a rise time. Next, turn on time is nothing but it is the sum of TD as well as TR. TR means it is the time required to rise to 90%. TD means it is the time required to charge to this base to emitter capacitance. T on, total time, T on is nothing but sum of TD plus TR, delay time plus rise time. Next we will come across the storage time, TS. Next, we have seen that when you want to make this BJT off, you will make a VB negative. We will see what is that. Turn off of the transistor, base voltage is made negative. VB they will make negative. Base current is also negative. But this collector current is not changed to 0 immediately. It requires some time duration. This is called as a storage time. During this period, saturating charge is removed from the base. During this condition, charge will be removed. After stored charge are removed, base current starts reducing, collector current also starts falling. The stored charge is removed because of negative base current. Once stored charge in the base is removed, CBE is charged to negative base voltage, base current becomes 0. This decay of collector current depending upon storage charge of base to emitter. Storage charge of base to emitter. This defines this one. Next we will see what is that fall time. Turn off time of the transistor is equal to sum of storage time plus fall time. Fall time means it is the time required to fall this IC current from 90% to 10%. 10% they have written as a 0.1 IC. So fall time is nothing but it is the sum of storage time plus fall time. Storage time means it is the time required to remove that junction capacitance. Where you have junction? Base to emitter junction. This is the time required to remove this base to emitter junction capacitance, that is nothing but storage time. Next we got a fall time. Here note that if base is highly saturated, storage time is more, because more time is required to remove extra charge from the base. Next we will come across a base drive control. Next we are focusing on the concept that how we can able to make this charging time as well as charging turn off time, how we can reduce this. Following points are to be remembered when designing the base drive circuit. BJT is current control, we know that. BJT is used as an on and off switch in power electronics controller. Power BJT is only we are using in saturation region and cutoff region. Sufficient base current is required for BJT to drive in saturation. How much amount of carrier injected, no? That region determine the storage time of BJT. Storage time determine turn on and turn off time of the BJT. There should be mechanism to control the amount of saturation so as to control the storage time. These are the important points we should remember while designing the drive circuit of this BJT. So next we will see base drive control during turn on and turn off. We have seen, no, there will be a delay during turn on and turn off. If you want to reduce that delay, what you need to do? Initially, to reduce time required to charge this base to emitter capacitance. If you want to make this base to emitter capacitance to charge to maximum value immediately, you have to apply IB peak. If you apply IB peak, then this capacitance will be charged to maximum value immediately. How we can apply IB peak? Here we have VB, R1, R2. Let's consider that when we apply VB, no, current starts flow from VB to R1. R1 to, whether it will select R2 path or C1 path, it will select C1 path, because R1 offers the resistance. Whenever capacitor is not charged at all, it works like a short circuit. So because of this, you will get a lower resistance path through C1. So initially we will get IB peak. IB peak you will get through the path VB to R1, R1 to C1. Once this C1 is charged, it works like a block. It blocks the IB current flowing. Current starts to flow from VB to R1, R1 to R2 like this. Then IB decreased from IB peak to IB. Then current decreases from IB peak to IB once this C1 is charged. We'll see what they have written. When base drive VB is applied, capacitor C1 acts as a short circuit because this capacitor C1 is not charged at all. Hence R2 is virtually bypassed. Therefore, initial value of the base current IB peak is only limited by what? R1. So you can write down that one as IB peak equal to VB minus VB divided by R1. This is the expression for IB peak. So this IB peak, this is the heavy base current. it will drive the transistor into saturation for quick turn on. This base to emitter capacitance will be charged, completely charged. So your transistor goes to quick turn on. Once transistor is turned on, there is no need of such a large base current. So because of this, obviously it will decrease from IB to IB peak to IB because your capacitor C1 is charged. This is taken care by R2 and C1. So it from this R2 and C1, from this one it decreases from IB peak to IB. Capacitor C1 starts charging and base current starts flowing. Observe that there is a peak of base current at the beginning of turn on. Then current will be reduced from IB peak to IB, and this is the expression for that IB. IB equal to VB minus VB divided by R1 plus R2. Then current start to flow from R2, VB to R1, R1 to R2, R2 to base. So you will get IB current expression like this. Next, if you want to turn off this transistor, base voltage is made negative, therefore capacitance voltage appears as a negative voltage, VB minus will be appeared. So sudden base current will be reversed. Whenever this current decreases and it becomes 0, no? Then it will get turns off. So here you can observe that to turn on your BJT, you are applying IB, no? So you will get IB peak. This is time period T. Turn on time is this one. Turn off time will be this one. Turn on time will be this. Turn off time will be this. Charge in the base region is removed. Capacitor C1 then discharges through R2. Obviously C1 will be charged and this C1 should be discharged. It will be discharged through R2. This discharging time constant T2 can be given by R2 C1. Charging time constant can be given by T1 equal to a time period that is required to charge this capacitor can be charging time constant of the capacitor can be given by R1 R2 C1 divided by R1 plus R2. Next, switching frequency Fs can be given by 1 divided by F equal to 1 by T, you know that. T is nothing but it is the sum of turn on period plus turn off period. So here they have written T on period of the transistor must be at least 5 times of T1. T off period must be 5 times of T2. So according to this statement, no, switching frequency T on minimum and T off minimum, this one. So switching frequency expression will get this. Maximum switching frequency will get this. Next concept we will see base drive control during turn on and turn off. In next concept, how can base drive control we will do using during turn off. So we will see that another circuit diagram. Here we can observe that. So in this previous circuit setup we have seen that how we can decrease this delay time during turn on, but we have not done any arrangement for storage time to decrease that storage time. What are the arrangement we have done? We have not done anything. So because of this, what we need to do? We have to make this arrangement. During turn on, this circuit play the role. During turn on, VB to R1, R1 to C1, C1 to D1, D1 to base. C1 will be charged completely. During turn off, during turn on only, this C2 is also charged like this. During turn off, you will make VB negative. Along with this VB, this C2 which is charged in a reverse fashion, that also adds voltage for this VB, minus VB. For this minus VB, this C1 that is also charged like this, that also adds to this minus VB. Then minus IB will flow through this base terminal, So you can decrease the storage time using this circuit setup, but current will not flow through this D1 during that period. Current will not flow like this. This D1 will block that. So that same explanation they have written here. You can just go through that. From this circuit setup, turn on and turn off delay can be decreased using this circuit setup. Next we will see proportional base drive control. Proportional base drive means what?
Sir, the fees ತುಂಬಿದ್ದ details ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೆ.
In this proportion based drive control, you can observe that as a load is increasing, obviously collector current flowing through this one also get increases. A load value get decreases means that load will not draw that much of collector current IC. Then as this IC is flowing through this inductor, it stimulates how much base current it required for this, how much IC current that has to be flowed, that has to be initiated here. And we'll see here what is that proportional base drive control, what explanation they have given. Collector current changes as load changes. The load is reduced, then collector current is also reduced. Then obviously collector current reduces means base current required that also reduces. As that reduces, collector current also reduces. So you have to vary this base control turn on and turn off according to our load requirement. So here they have mentioned inductor. Hence a proportional base drive control can be used. Show the circuit diagram of this proportional base drive control. Next, according to this inductor, they have written like this. The collector current passes through the coil. That coil we have seen, that is magnetically coupled to the base coil. Hence, collector current is also induced the current in the base coil. This current acts as a base drive to the BJT. The RC time constant determine the duration of pulse to be applied. So you can write down N2 by N1 equal to IC by IB. IC equal to beta into IB divided by IB. So you will get beta. Then base current then varies according to variation in the collector current. This is the proportional base drive control. Next we will see anti-saturation control. Here in this anti-saturation control, we have connected anti-saturation diode. DAS. What is this? Anti-saturation diode. That is connected in between collector to base terminal end. Here now you can observe that you have connected a D1 at the base terminal of the BJT. Because of the connecting of this D1, that is of 0.7 volt voltage across this one will be that. And also we can observe here VAB voltage across A and B terminal. VAB nothing but VDAS plus VCE. VDAS plus VCE. And also here you can equate VAB as VDAS plus VCE. This one. You can equate these two, this VAB and this VAB, you can equate these two, so that you can get VDS plus VBE, VDS plus VCE. Next you can equate these two. You know that VDS equal to VD1, Hence above equation you will get VCE, collector to emitter voltage, equal to base to emitter voltage. So because of this, collector to emitter voltage will be equal to base to emitter voltage. When BJT turns on, base to emitter voltage is nearly 0.7 volt. But collector to emitter voltage will be 0.3 because of the anti-saturation diode VDAS. Then collector to emitter voltage rises to VB, that is of 0.7 volt. So usually that is less, but it is also already increased to 0.7 volt because of VDAS equal to VD. So it will no longer be, hence BJT is no longer in saturation region. This is just above the saturation. This effect takes place because of the anti-saturation diode VDS. Hence BJT is above saturation. There is no excess carrier in the base. Its storage time is reduced. This reduces T off. Hence switching time. Collector to emitter voltage can be further increased by putting additional diode in series of T1. So this is the anti-saturation control. With respect to this one, they have solved one simple problem. You just go with this one. According to that previous data, they have solved that. Next merits we'll see. What are the merits we'll get? BJT has a small turn on and turn off time. Hence their switching frequency are higher. We have also seen how we can reduce the turn off and turn on time also. And it also has small turn on losses. Base drive has a full control over the operation of BJT, and also it also not required any commutation circuit. BJT is a bipolar device. It has also has reduced cost. Drive circuit of the BJT is complex. Storage charge in the base reduces switching frequency. Negative temperature coefficient creates the problem in parallelizing of BJT. Next application they have shown switching mode power supplies. It can be used in bridge converter, DC to DC converter, power factor correction technique. There you will do it. Next they have listed the difference between BJT and SCR. This is the 4-layer device, PN, P. Here this is a 3-layer device. Turn on by regeneration, no regeneration exists. It has a gate, has a no control over the SCR during turn on, but here now base has full control. Here external circuits are required to turn off the SCR, no external circuit required, so base drive is enough. Switching frequency are lower, but switching frequency is high in this BJT. False triggering take place if dV by dt exceeds. So, but here in this BJT, no, it will be damaged. Used for controlled rectifier, AC regulator, DC motors, used in the inverter, EPS, AC motor drives and SMPS. This is the concept in BJT. We'll see what are the university questions we may get. With a neat diagram, explain anti-saturation control of BJT. Mention the drawback. With help of necessary waveform, explain the switching characteristic of BJT. Just now we have discussed. What is the necessary of base drive control? Explain various methods of base drive control in BJT. How the current peaking is obtained during turn on of power transistor. Draw the transient mode of BJT and also explain switching characteristic of bipolar transistor. What is the need of base drive control in power transistor? Explain anti-saturation control. What is the need of base drive control in power transistor? Explain proportional and anti-saturation control. Explain following parameter with respect to switching limit, secondary breakdown, forward biased, safe operating, power derating, breakdown voltage. These are the some of the university questions we may get. Discuss switching limits of power transistor. Explain any 3 base drive control circuit of the power BJT. Explain anti-saturation control. They have asked like this. In next class we will discuss about power MOSFET. Thank you.